Oh, I'm glad you asked that. I just got off a coaching call with our students in our online course, the Yoga Business Sutras, and we were talking about this exact topic.
Oh, how funny.
Because it's huge. It's really important nowadays. Just to give a little perspective to everybody listening on this and, the perspective on marketing in general, this is a very new concept to get specific about a niche that you serve.
Yeah.
Because it used to be, you would just put your message out there. You'd put advertisements out like crazy. And the more you got your stuff out in front of people, they'd buy eventually. Whoever got the most ads out won. So the most TV commercials, the most billboards, the most postcards. It's just like blah, 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 blah. Just like inundate the consumer, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to do that. That sucks. And luckily, that doesn't work anymore. What works now, because there's so many advertisements.
Yeah.
I mean, how many advertisements do we see in a day?
Oh, I have no idea.
I think the average is 30,000 a day.
That's crazy.
Crazy. I mean, so can you remember the last 30,000 ads you saw yesterday?
Yeah.
No way, right? So anyway, there's a lot of noise going on in the world right now. And our job as, yoga teachers or conscious entrepreneurs is to do whatever it takes to make sure the people that are meant, the people that we're meant to help hear us and know that we're for them. So we have to do whatever it takes to make that happen. And that's one way that we can feel really good about business and marketing and, picking a niche. But what happens is when you pick a niche, you can cater specifically to them.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So you can speak their language. Right? And like our students were saying on the call, they love how we integrate yoga into business. I mean, that's a lot of what I'm doing because business is my yoga. Like I was saying, it's my practice. I can get lost in the process, right? And not get attached to the outcome and just go to work and practice. And they love that, but I would never be able to communicate like that if I didn't focus on yoga.
Yeah.
In the industry.
Yeah.
So that's one reason to pick a niche, is that you can get really focused and speak a language they understand.
Yeah, you almost anticipate their needs,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when you say, you can say things that they raise their hand and go, yeah, that's me, I need that.
Yeah, they self-identify.
Right, like instead of me saying, hey, sign up for this if you want to grow your business, I can say something like, sign up for this if you want to build your classes.
Yeah.
Or sign up for this if you want to teach more private sessions. Right, I can use that languaging, and that's going to get heard over all the business messages.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, so that's number one. Number two is where to find these people. Because if I were to try and attract business owners, where am I going to put my stuff? There's no specific place, right? I'm going to just blast it everywhere, and it's going to cost a fortune, and then nobody will know it's for them. So you got to get specific. So all of a sudden, if I'm looking for yoga studio owners, I know exactly where they hang out.
Yeah.
Right? I can go to the yoga studios. I can get a list of yoga studios. I can start focusing my efforts. And then lastly, it's really important because you get into a small niche community and they all talk to each other.
Yeah, that's the big thing, right?
It's huge, right? Because this is how marketing works nowadays. You need to create something that's remarkable. So that means something worth making a remark about. So people talk about it.
I like that.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's what remarkable really means. It's like make something worthy of making a remark about. So so what you do, you pick a niche, you speak their language, you create something amazing, something that's never been made before, that's different, that's better than everything else, produces a better result, serves the client better than anything else in the market, and then those people will talk about it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do so much marketing.
Really cool.
Yeah, everyone's doing it for you. They're all talking about it.
That's awesome. It seems so simple when you put it that way. There's so much clarity to it, but obviously it's a lot more complicated than that. So if you could offer someone who's just starting out, business seems totally foreign to them, as it does to a lot of yogis out there. What is one thing you would really recommend to kind of get their feet wet, start this marketing thing going for them?
Cool. Yeah, good question. Like, you think about that. I'd say number one is to start learning about your ideal student. So who are they? What do they like? And start asking to do that, it's simple. Instead of us sitting there thinking, what does my student want? What could I make for them? Just go ask them.
Yeah.
So, we all have this, right? If we teach a yoga class, every week there are a few key students that are regulars and they're devoted and they love it. So go and ask them why they come to your class. It's that easy. Say, hey, why do you come? What do you like about this? Right? And start getting clear on that information. Because once you do, you know who your student is, what they want, then you can shape your offering around that so that it resonates with them more and more and more.
No, that's really good advice. And so what would you say to someone who is kind of resistant to marketing because they don't think it's a yogic practice? They don't see how it's a valuable thing. Right.
Well, that kind of ties into what I was just saying.
Yeah.
The work you do as a marketer is just getting to know who your student is, who your client is. Because marketing isn't so much putting out advertisements and writing blogs. It's about creating a service and product that is perfect for the person consuming it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if, we're yoga teachers and there's people out there who benefit from yoga, right? So if you teach yoga, people benefit from it.
Totally, yeah.
So what if you could create something that allowed them to benefit even more? That allowed them to go deeper into their practice, to come more often, right?
Yeah.
And that's all we're doing. We're creating something that allows more people to experience more yoga more often.
Yeah, it's all about service. We mentioned that earlier.
Yeah. So as a result of that effort, you get paid more money because you're helping more people.
Yeah, it's good karma, right?
Right. I really believe we were born into this life and this place right now to be abundant.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the ability to do that. It's like, I think we forget that a lot of times, that most of the world doesn't have that. Most of the world lives in poverty and they have no way to get out of it. Right? Like Allison and I were just at a seminar and the guy putting on this seminar runs these, multi-million-dollar businesses. And here's a guy that's making tons of money. It's all about service. It's all about helping other people do our type of work and help more people. And he ran this charity to help these kids in Africa get goats so they could start their own goat business. Right?
Yeah.
Like if they can get these goats, they can have commerce. They can sell the milk and the cheese and all that. But they don't have the money to get the goats to start it. So, that's what we did this weekend. We generated $60,000 just with the participants at that event.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and Allison and I gave $100, and that bought 4 goats.
Oh my gosh.
Right? So imagine, we have this ability to change the world, right? That's just $100.
Yeah.
So what if you created a business that threw off an extra couple thousand a year that you could go out and spend on other people that can't? Right?
Yeah.
So essentially, us being business owners and getting really good at this is good for everyone. It's good for ourselves. We can take care of ourselves so we can take care of others, right? So if you've got the scarcity mindset, you're not focused on your students.
No, definitely.
You're focused on where the next meal's coming from.
Yeah,
right?
And you lose the enjoyment of teaching.
Yeah, when you're counting heads or, like, oh God, I'm making $40 this class. That's sad. Like it's amazing when people get these concepts, it changes their lives. It transforms them. Right? You have the ability, you don't have to worry about that anymore. Once you don't have to worry about the money, then you can worry about how you're going to help people more.
Yeah, and focus on what you truly love doing, which is teaching and being of service to others and helping them.
Yeah, and that's all we're doing as business owners is getting better at that.
Yeah.
And more sustainable practices.
Yeah.